affliction and the fleeting mundane? What is the balance between hoping in glory and enjoying life? Because at the same time, there is enjoyment to have in the midst of mortality. The Byzantine artist says that we ought to look primarily to what we cannot see, using art only as symbols of the divine, because art in their eyes is not intrinsically beautiful. The Renaissance artist says that we ought to look solely to the physical, finding pleasure and purpose in tangible beauty. Is there a happy medium between the Byzantine and the Renaissance? This is the melding of worldviews that this paper will discuss, and this is the stance for the modern Christian. It is the Christian's responsibility to engage with the fine arts in order to imitate Christ, connect himself to Christ, and strive for humility. The fine arts are split into 7 specific art forms: painting, sculpture, literature, architecture, film, theater or performing arts, and music. These specific art forms are chosen as the fine arts because they do not seem to have utilitarian purposes. Their purpose is to bring beauty to the human experience. Engaging with the fine arts includes several elements: creating, taking in, contemplating, and supporting. First, the Christian strives to imitate God in all. Being made in the image of God, man's purpose is to imitate, albeit imperfectly, God's nature and the principles that point to him. When human beings do the work of creation, we reflect that part of God as creator. And this is the first call to engage with the fine arts. Because all of mankind is made in the image of the Creator, meant to imitate him, all mankind ought to create. As C.S. Lewis puts it, none of us can in the ultimate sense make, ex nihilo, or out of nothing. We can only build. The fine arts, therefore, are the Christian's way of building, the readily available passage to becoming creators with a small c. J.R.R. Tolkien called them sub-creators. This is why art of all kinds can be seen as a vital component of vibrant Christian praise and worship, because creating fine art is an act of imitation. While the Christian looks forward to the complete sanctification of the divine, he is forced to dwell in and among the mundane. Thus, the second goal of the Christian is to connect himself to Christ by any means possible in this fallen materiality. C.S. Lewis, in his book, The Abolition of Man, presents a principle that assists in this quest for connection. It is called the Tao, a Chinese word, a word the Chinese use to describe the greatest thing. It is the doctrine of objective value and objective truth that constitutes true moral order, true reality, and therefore true beauty. The Tao, which the Christian knows to be defined by God, is spread among all creation. And through experiencing the beautiful in the midst of the broken, man sees that which really is, and that which we ought to imitate. Connection to the Tao gives man purpose and hope. The arts, whether created by a Christian or not, are a glimpse of the ultimately beautiful and therefore a glimpse of the unseen God. Therefore, the viewer, whether Christian or not, experiences a glimpse of and connection to the unseen God through the fine arts. In the 5th installment of L.M. Montgomery's beloved Anne of Green Gables series, Anne Shirley and her friend Owen Ford gaze at the landscape, struck by the beauty of the trees against the twilight sky. Anne observes, "It's so beautiful that it hurts me. What is the reason that pain like this seems inseparable from perfection?" Owen replies with a brilliant explanation of the seen and the unseen, an answer for how the beautiful connects to God. Perhaps, he says, it is the prisoned infinite in us calling out to its kindred infinite, as expressed in that visible perfection. The seen is a bridge to the unseen. One of the central vital virtues of Christ is his humility. God became lowly, vulnerable, and mortal, all due to the love he has for his children. Quote, "And when he had come as a man," as Philippians 2 says, "he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even to death on a cross." This is humility beyond our comprehension. This is humility we can never match, but we are inspired to imitate. Because all creation is and will be made new by this work of Christ, the Christian can have confidence in creating and acknowledging the beautiful, despite our inability to create perfection. Because everything redeemed by Christ becomes beautiful. And this is where contemplation of the fine arts comes in. When experiencing a work of art, we naturally seek to understand it. It is often contemplation in search of understanding that makes the incarnation's renewal feel real and necessary. Through connecting to the ultimately beautiful in the fine arts, while also contemplating one's place in comparison to it, we are forced into a state of humility. It is the Christian's responsibility, therefore, to engage with the fine arts. All three goals, however, imitation, connection, and humility, can be encapsulated into one all-encompassing goal: to bring glory to God in every aspect of life. This is man's higher calling, his challenge for this life and for eternity. Supporting the fine arts means encouraging others to pursue God's glory. By helping the fine arts to flourish, we are encouraging others to pursue imitation, connection, and humility. The fine arts can lead to the answer to our worldwide longing. Engaging with the fine arts is a painful reminder that while we are on our way to glory, we are still for now separated from it. The pain of beauty seems inseparable from perfection, as Anne Shirley says. But this is why we engage with the beautiful. The pain it brings us draws us nearer to the perfection we are meant for, nearer to glory. God's beauty is here for us to see, just not in its entirety. In beauty's visible perfection, the prisoned infinite in us calls out to its kindred infinite, and for a moment we experience Eden. The pain of the arts, our momentary light affliction, is producing for us an absolutely incomparable eternal weight of glory. Therefore, we must engage with beauty to engage with glory, until the prisoned infinite in us is set free.